All right, guys, and welcome back. So now we did the DeFi tooling. We covered the different blockchain explorers that we will need. We showed you how to install MetaMask, and we explained to you what decentralized applications are. So decentralized finance basically stands for it's an acronym for a complete ecosystem of decentralized financial applications. Decentralized financial technology is going to disrupt the financial space as a whole. So if we compare decentralized uh, finance with centralized finance, we can see some interesting dynamics there. DeFi is like financial Lego, where, in my opinion, centralized finance is like a bureaucratic mess. All right, let's dive deeper into this right now. Okay, so DeFi versus CeFi. DeFi, yeah, as I said before, is decentralized finance, and it's like a whole ecosystem that we can see here, right? So DeFi versus CeFi, decentralized finance versus centralized finance. In decentralized finance, you have to trust, you can trust a protocol. And in centralized finance, you have to trust a company or a government or a entity, right? So you have to, instead of relying on code, mathematics, you have to rely on people's and promises and bureaucracy, right? But, both sides have the same goal: to enable people to use financial services all around the world. But the ways that they achieve this goal is differently. And for you as a person that's interacting with different financial services, it's up to you. What do you prefer? Do you want to trust and you want to give your value to a protocol? Or do you want to give your value to a company? The problem and the challenge for this decentralized finance ecosystem is actually to abstract the protocol in such a way that more and more people start to understand and realize that it's much more trustworthy to trust mathematics than to trust promises, false promises, and beliefs from a company or an institution. So let's take a deeper look before we continue at the decentralized ecosystem, right? So let's take a look at the whole ecosystem, which we will be interacting with and going over with throughout this DeFi course. To get a good overview of the decentralized financial ecosystem, I want to recommend you to going to the website DeFi Pulse. DeFi Pulse is basically a website that lists the most important players in the decentralized financial ecosystem. How does it do that? Because it can easily do that because it's just reads out the different main blockchains. It reads out the Ethereum blockchain, the Bitcoin blockchain, and different blockchains that all have DeFi applications running on it, and aggregates it by the amount of value that's locked in USD on it. We can see here, and it's really, really exciting for me, we can see here that it's actually a nice bump up. So we're now, at the time of recording, it's the 6th of March, and we're right now around $970 million locked up in decentralized finance as of today. I've been in this space for quite some time, and I've seen this space emerging. I was a big fan of MakerDAO for a long time. I was also a big fan of Bitcoin and Ethereum. And basically in the 2017 bull market, the term decentralized finance did surface and people were discussing it. And as a researcher, I did see different protocols that were addressing these topics. Of all these protocols and all these ICO hypes that were happening in 2017, we see some of the projects that actually survived, but most of the projects, basically died off. Only in the recent times, actually in the bear market, the decentralized financial ecosystem emerged, where you before had like ICOs as a use case for blockchain. You're starting to see real use case for like new financial ecosystems. And if we take a closer look at DeFi Pulse, we can see the amount of value locked up, the change in percentage of that day, the different categories like lending, decentralized exchanges, derivatives, payments, or assets. And we can see the different blockchains where these decentralized financial applications are running on. If we look closely, we can see that most of the decentralized applications are right now running on top of the Ethereum blockchain. The reason for this is because Ethereum is the most mature and most battle-tested blockchain out there besides Bitcoin. Bitcoin also has a place here for the Lightning Network. But I see a future which I will explain more in depth later on throughout this course, where I can see a multiple blockchain universe emerging, where right now Ethereum is well suited for this decentralized financial boom in applications. I can see actually the liquid network on Bitcoin also increasing significantly in value, or other blockchains, maybe like EOS or other like Tezos or other blockchains that will all be interconnected in this ecosystem where Ethereum has certain features, the Ethereum ecosystem has certain benefits compared to, for example, the Tezos ecosystem, or the Bitcoin ecosystem has certain benefits above the Ethereum ecosystem. And I see this all emerging. And right now, Ethereum undergoes this amazing explosion of a lot of different decentralized financial applications that are being built and deployed in Ethereum right now. As we can see also here a metric of basically the biggest application that's running right now on decentralized finance. That's MakerDAO. MakerDAO is basically the main building block that's underneath the whole decentralized financial ecosystem on Ethereum. And I see different MakerDAOs emerging on different chains where we will see different and similar sort of evolutions of systems and concepts emerging. But more about that in the next video. So that's what we see here. Again, the link of the DeFi Pulse is in the description below with some other information. So go explore the DeFi landscape by yourself. Maybe you're watching this video 1 year later after recording, and this whole space will be completely different. That's also the cool thing about DeFi. We're so early on in the decentralized financial space that we cannot predict right now what the exact future will be. We don't know what the new big applications will be. Maybe I believe that MakerDAO will mostly stay at the top because it's one of the core building blocks. But maybe there comes a MakerDAO competitor on the Ethereum chain that's going to compete with Maker. Can happen. Or we can see here Pool Together, the game that we were interacting with before, MetaMask, Augur, but we can see multiple building blocks emerging on top of the Ethereum blockchain, but also on other chains. I also want to see more DeFi applications on Bitcoin. I also linked a link below in the description from RSK, and RSK is basically trying to deploy DeFi applications on Bitcoin. But more about that later on. Let's go back to our slides. Let's go back to our slide. And that's it. So I want to encourage everybody to take a deeper look at the ecosystem as a whole. Go to DeFi Pulse, click on multiple links, go to Compound Synthetics, try to take a look and try to maybe understand a little bit by yourself what all these is. We will go more in depth together in these protocols. We're going to validate them and we're going to pull them apart. But right now, just explore, relax, and let's go down the rabbit hole more together. And again, if there are questions, please ask them on the forum.